Let's talk a little bit about the offensive line. What did you think of the offensive line performance this week?
I thought it was really good. Surprise, like, let's talk about the one guy. Like, Connor Colby stepping in was awesome. He was really good. That was like an A grade performance watching it back. I was so impressed with how he played. He was doing some really nice stuff. And you got a situation where Pooney's out there and you can see his injury on every play. He's still damn good, but you can see his injury. You have McKivitz, who had a solid enough game. I'm not going to put the entirety of that strip sack on McKivitz because he did his job, which is, I don't know, take the defensive end to the ground, and then you're in a really tough spot as an offensive lineman because if you're just to lay on top of them, they'll call holding on you for that. So you kind of have to let him get up, and then you got to punch him. Like, wasn't awesome, but it was also like 4 seconds into the play. I don't know when you're supposed to stop. When you got a guy on the ground and it's 4 seconds into a play, I'm not sure that I'm expecting anyone to, play through the whistle to that level, except the whistle hadn't gone there. So I'm not going to put that on him. I thought he was just fine. I thought Brendel had a really nice run blocking game and held up better in protection than I expected. And Trent battled through it. Trent was pretty damn good. It was certainly a big departure from what we saw in Seattle, and given the injury and how doubtful the Niners seemed to be in-house that he would play, he didn't look that injured to me. They had Mac Jones back there who will throw the ball when he is good and ready. I mean, he's a statue. I know he had that scramble and he had a couple nice bootlegs, but like he really wants to think that one through back there, and they gave him time to think that one through up there. And I like the Saints defensive line, so I think you have to tip your hat to the offensive line, and particularly Colby. Really, really impressive. I think we've seen the last of Ben Barch. I didn't see this coming from Connor Colby. I thought his tape at Iowa showed a player who shouldn't have been drafted, much less starting in the NFL in year one. But he looks absolutely awesome in that game. They were throwing a bunch of stuff at him. They didn't change the game plan at all. He's pulling. He's doing he's doing 1-2 blocks. He was really excellent in that. And with Barch having a high ankle sprain, like I don't think he gets that job back at left guard for the remainder of the season. So very encouraging offensive line game.
Yeah, I mean, Connor Colby is quite a bit better than Ben Barch. Ben Barch is strong. Ben Barch has good size, but Ben Barch is very fragile. I mean, he's only played 5 or 6 games without getting hurt, and I'm not sure why. Some guys either are unlucky or they don't have very high pain tolerance. But the one thing about Connor Colby is Connor Colby's played 50 career college games, and football hurts, and you get hurt when you play football, and it's not an easy sport. So if you show me a guy that's played 50 college games, made 50 college starts, I'll show you a guy that for sure has a high pain tolerance and for sure has played hurt. Colton McKivitz is a good example. Since 2023, when they put him in the starting lineup, guess what? Colton doesn't miss any starts. Does that mean Colton doesn't get hurt? No.
Nope.
Colton gets hurt. Colton just goes out there anyway. And that's what you need in your offensive line. You need guys who are going to go out there anyway. And that's just the bottom line. And I think the Niners have a good enough collection of linemen to be good. I just don't think they're putting him on the field. They've got, the Niners are this gigantic inside story. Okay. So Trent didn't practice all summer, but the inside story is that he's a future Hall of Famer and he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
Jake Brendel has been one of the worst players in football, according to Pro Football Focus. But the inside story is that, Niners didn't have a lot of money to spend, and Chris Forster said, hey, I know this guy who's cheap from Miami, and they brought him in, and he was passable, and now he made Forster a star in the eyes of Shanahan and Lynch, and now they're going with Brendel. Now they're just deferring to Forster, and Forster, just staying with his guy, and he keeps calling him a Pro Bowler. He was never a Pro Bowler. He was a Pro Bowl alternate 3 years ago, okay? That's right. The truth. He's never been a Pro Bowler. He's a Pro Bowl alternate. And he's just not good. He has decent run blocking numbers from this week, but he had horrible pass blocking numbers. He allowed 4 pressures. It was the most of any lineman the Niners have. And to me, it's like, I think I would go with Colby at left guard the rest of the way. And then at least you have some consistency there. And then, then be open-minded. If Brendel, who's unbelievably durable, by the way, I mean, it's always the guys who struggle who never get hurt.
It's like drunk
guys,
people in car crashes. They
I
always
mean,
seem
really,
to walk out
really
unscathed.
durable player, really durable.
It matters.
And
he
yet,
also knows all the protections. He's in charge of the protections. Like, that's another Kyle thing. Like, do I want to trust somebody in that situation if they're not totally simpatico with what it is I want to do?
Drake Nugent went to Stanford. Something tells me he's smart.
I believe he's at Michigan. He went to both Michigan and Stanford. Is that right?
Yeah,
double degree.
So I mean, Drake Nugent, he's on the practice squad. You know, you could go to Barch if Barch gets healthy at center. You know, if they had a big time tackle, let's just say it was a year from now, and they had a big time tackle and Trent Williams, you know, I think the Colton McKivitz signing was about Trent Williams is probably hanging it up at the end of the year, but maybe not.
Yeah.
What if at the end of the year, Trent Williams says, you know what? I am going to play one last year in 2026. Then let's say you draft a tackle. Well, guess what? You might be able to play Colton McKivitz at center. You know,
Maybe.
you're only paying him $7 million or $15 million or whatever, $15 million, I guess.
I'm not sure if he's Graham Barton, 15 next
year.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm just saying. Well, he can. The whole book on him coming out of West Virginia is the guy can play all five spots.
True.
I'm just saying, the 49ers, I think in Pooney and now in Colby have two guards that they should go with and not think twice. And I the other thing about Connor Colby is you need offensive line play is about continuity. You need to have continuity. And they don't have any continuity if they keep having guys injured. If they keep going with starters who've never played more than 5 games, odds are they're not going to continue to be hurt all the time. So I would say go with Connor Colby.
Well, they don't have a choice right now. And I think it's going to be like more than a month to be sure. Again, he's going to get the run. We're going to find out one way or another with Connor Colby. Very, very encouraging first game. But like, he has every opportunity. There's literally no caveat you have to throw on this. He has an opportunity to be the 49ers left guard for the next 4 years, because if he can make it through this season and hold off Ben Barch, they'll never consider bringing in competition for him. He'll just be the guy until his contract runs out, and maybe they'll re-up it a couple times. Like, if they can get average, and maybe even Colby can be better than that, but if they can get average on the offensive line, so long as they have one elite tackle, right? If they have one great tackle, they can deal with average everywhere else and slide everybody, and then just have one-on-ones with that one great tackle on bootlegs and stuff. Like, they'll stick with it. And I think Connor Colby, with what he showed against the Saints, has every chance to be just average fine, and you never really think, or at least they never really think about replacing him again.
I think Connor Colby is going to be the guy. I think he's going to be the guy for years to come. I think he looks great. I mean, he's built exactly the way you want an offensive lineman to be built.
He moved great too. I mean, and I know that he tested well in that, but like, he moved and still popped, which is a nice thing to see. I don't even think Pooney does that all that well. When Pooney gets on the move, he's still going to give you the block, but it's not as powerful as it would be if he was just in a regular pass set or just in a basic zone. But if you get him on the move, he gets him to the second level. He delivered a couple second level blocks that really had some thrust to him. It was a really solid game. I'm a Barch guy. I really liked Barch. I can't disagree with anything you said about him. Best ability is availability, and the dude hasn't played. But you know, the rare occurrences when he does play football, I think he puts out some pretty good tape. Colby put out just as good of tape, if not a little bit better. It's one game, but he's going to get a large sample size here, and I doubt pretty significantly that he gives up that job again.
Burford's hurt. How did he get hurt?
It has to be on special teams. I couldn't bring myself to typing Spencer Burford into the All-22 machine and finding out when the hell he was on the field. But he didn't take a snap from scrimmage, so it had to have been on special teams. So
49ers have lost Pooney and Burford to injuries that occurred on special teams.
Yeah.
Am I getting that right?
That's
hard to
correct,
believe.
Yeah.
I think the Niners have a major problem at offensive line. I think they're completely delusional about the lack of quality of their offensive tackles. I don't think Burford can do it. I don't think Pleasance can do it. I'm pretty convinced. We'll see, but You know what? That
Well,
could be a very
you better
painful-
hope that you don't have to see, because if it's just Pleasance,
Well, we are going to see. Come on, you're gonna.
No,
those
you're
guys are
right.
gonna
No,
play.
I mean, like the Pleasant
We're gonna see
situation. The Pleasant situation in the preseason, the worst player on the 49ers in the preseason was Matt Hennessy. The second worst player for the 49ers in the preseason was Austin Pleasance. He couldn't run block. If that guy can't run block, what is it? Going to the Bobs. What is it you say you do here?
Right.
I'm interested. I'm willing to see it through with Burford, because there were enough reps in practice during training camp, for whatever that's worth, where you're like, oh, I get it. I see it. There's a glimmer there that gets me kind of excited about the possibility. That doesn't mean shit really, but at least it's something. It's a little bit of hope. But he ain't healthy, so it doesn't flip and matter. Fascinated to see, because they got to bring in somebody off the street this week, I imagine, and fascinated to see who the hell that is, because they got some really. You got Justin School starting in the NFL right now, so what the hell can you find on the street? I mean, they might call you or me, Larry. I'm not kidding.
I mean, there's nobody. There's nobody.
Nobody.
I mean, I mentioned McClendon Curtis got cut, but I mean
that is not even a person. I've never heard of that. McClendon Curtis.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good player.
Tell me.
He played at Tennessee,
tell me.
Chattanooga. He's a decent player, but he might be more of a guard. I mean, at best, he's a right tackle. Here's the thing.
Curtis.
This is why these guys get paid ungodly sums of money, because gigantic human beings with feet like ballerinas don't.
The
really
greatest
exist.
athletes on the planet. Power to strength. The greatest athletes on the planet are defensive ends.